So more Astral Chain basically. Sorry for like 2 weeks of no Astral Chain content. It's just the combination of work getting in the way because I had to take exams for it. I don't know either. Explain that to me. And my brother getting sick, I had to take care of him, so I couldn't do any of the like voiceovers or editing for Astral Chain. All the like Mario Sport Mix stuff has been already edited and finished. So that's why I kept getting like Mario Sport Mix content while no Astral Chain was going on. The other thing we were doing today for this video is the boss for round 3. And if anything, I did leave like my first attempt, technically my first attempt for this recording in the video. So you can see like how long it takes, because let's just say that I'm surprised that I got this in 2 attempts, especially since I thought I was going to be here for like an hour at best. But the boss is not that hard. I know also during the recording, I have my mic out with like no music, so you can hear my actual like thoughts of going through this. Also, one other thing about like this whole recording thing is that it's been a while that I actually got myself a new capture card. I upgraded from my Elgato HD 60 to the Elgato HD 60X. My 60X for me, or the 60S that I had, I dropped it once and it hit cleanly on the side, which it popped open and it just like showed all the internals for the capture card. And there are just times where I want to pick it up to like move it and it just disconnects by itself. It's not broken, none of the hardware inside got damaged, but it's more to a point where it just keeps separating every time that thought I was just better for an upgrade before I actually completely break it. Boss 3 in general, it's the only time we do a boss in an astral plane, like one of the few times. So it's very cool and very happy. And I know after after doing the 2 episodes, or like the whole like recording session where I had to do 2 episodes from like 2 different cases, I changed some of the abilities around in my Legion Corps, which is kind of cool. The only thing I want to do is just like I want to see if I can keep like an a stun up and see if I can actually read correctly, but not much to say on that part. Yeah, you're seeing like how far I'm getting on like 1 attempt, but you get to see how much of more, not like a slot, but more of like patience I have to do for this boss. Just like Arc Mall and the case before that in Harmony Square, these cases now bank on a combination of passiveness with patience and more in the sense of trying to figure out when is your time to strike. Because since we're in Ultimate, we get no revive, so basically once we fuck up, we have to just restart everything all over again, which is kind of funny but kind of annoying in the end. And if anything, one other thing about doing these cases over and over again is that you get to at least not spectate, you get to like know when enemies are going to show up and all that, and you get to see which parts are some of the worst in this case specifically for each of them. And for me in this one, it's more round 3, technically round 2, but round 3's enemy placement combined with, and after that would be like the round 4 as like a close second. But not much else to say there. As you guys can see from like looking at the timestamp, we're not even done with this video. This is like 19 minutes, which surprisingly, surprisingly I got 2 attempts in under like 30 minutes. But more in the sense that just going off with the rest of Astral Chain has been pretty fun. and what do you call it? I still get decimated by a Hector. But after that attempt, it's just one more. It's like the actual attempt that I beat the case in, which I'm still surprised that I got this attempt done. And I will, like, there are times during this case where I got critically low in HP because of some fault or other. Because one of the cores I put, or one of the abilities I put on my legions is an auto call for my beast legion, which, if anything, is given with a reason, because there are some points in this fight where I want my beast legion out in general, and the auto call automatically summons, automatically calls the legion out for fights. And in general, it's really good to have it out like that, so I don't have to remind myself to hop on my beast legion and all that. Because if you saw in the first round, during that one round with like the 8 bird holds, I just hopped on my beast legion and just stayed in place because of the auto dodge mechanic the beast legion does, where if the bird hold explodes, I don't get any damage on me. And it's really good that if the bird holds destroy each other after the explosion, you get some of your limiter back, which is really good, especially for those bird holds. But the first round with an Aerith, Jenna Anderson, and an Ice Maiden, the only like bad enemy in this like round would be like Jenna Aberrant. Like Jenna herself is the worst part of this fight, because as you saw twice at least, Jenna has her special attack that can just take you out from animations, and she can hit you in the middle of doing your spin cycle, and sometimes some sync attacks as well, which is kind of annoying. So like your best bet is to just either take out Jenna early, which is still doable, but more in the sense that it's kind of more in tone to just take out the other two. Yeah, the other two chimeras, and then deal with Jenna after that, because though Aerith is not that bad, Aerith does have the laser attack where she'll just shoot a bunch of lasers at you, and if you don't have super armor like Alpha to deal with them, you're gonna get like peppered to hell and back. The round with the bird hold, as I stated before, there's just 8 of them that spawn, and your best bet is just to hop on your beast legion, because as you can see, you'll auto dodge. Another good attempt would be either blue shielding with the axe legion, or your special with your axe legion, where you can just dodge back and forth. The third round, or technically the second fighting round, but the third round is the hardest one in my opinion, for the sole reason of its enemy placements. The enemies are Agamemnon, Kyle, and Hector, and these 3 are pretty hard hitting. Your best bet for attacking is always a game of patience. Always just play passive and wait for your chance to strike. I know for me, I took way too much damage on the attempts, on like the old attempt I did, where you try to stun. Your worst bet is to stun, or your best bet is always to stun all 3 of them, which, yes, is a given. Another one could be just stunning Hector and Kyle, because Kyle, though he attacks pretty hard, Kyle is more of a support unit for this group of enemies, because the Agamemnon shoots fireballs, makes the ground quake, and has a pretty vicious attack cycle in general. Hector, meanwhile, is a Bradish type enemy, so he has the great sword to deal damage. And as we saw before, its showdown stance can routinely take you out of out of your attack. So stunning Hector would be a good idea and all that. And then Kyle just falls in the line that though he does have a great sword and does tremendous damage on his own, his stun rod, or like his AoE stun rod, his mollies, and sometimes the smoke screen, if he gets that far, only benefits the Hector and the Agamemnon more than it benefits himself. So this is like a trio of just hard hitters that if you let them take an inch, they're gonna go for the mile. So do be mindful of that. In general, your best bet for this group of enemies is just stunning all three of them, like your best scenario, stunning all three of them. And then after a spin cycle, try to hit them with a stun grenade, because the stun grenade is like a free just howl while you're waiting for your howl to cool down. But do be mindful that you are going to run out of stun grenade. I think the maximum you can get is like 5. So that's also pretty funny. Your best friend in general with this enemy group is just patience, passiveness. I know for me, I actually played 2 passive, like 2 patient once, where they were just grabbing so much area in the room that I actually kept falling off the side of the platform, giving myself own damage. But like I think like a hit of super armor will also help out as well, where you don't get stunned that much from Kyle's attacks. And with Kyle down, we just have the Agamemnon to deal with, and with the blue shield in our possession, we could just get rid of him easily. The 4th round is up against 2 Raven type enemies and Akira, which is kind of cool. The only like bad one in this scenario is again the Bradish Legion and the Raven Legions in general, but mostly the Bradish Legion. The Blade Legion is not that bad. His triple sword can be a nuisance, and his slam can be a nuisance too. In general, Akira with the bowgun is not that terrible. But if you just attack Akira, sooner or later he's just gonna call back the bowgun to deal with some other things. Or if you just knock him out, like not like completely, but like knock him out with an attack that does knockback, he'll just fall back and his bowgun will be desummoned. So do be mindful of that and use that to your advantage as ever much you want. Other than that, nothing much else to say on Akira. It's just the bowgun more of a nuisance than it is a benefit to you. It's pot shots, it's arrow rain, and its charge shot also will just become more of an annoyance to you. And even if you have Super Armor Alpha, where it doesn't like stun you, more in the sense that trying to get it to a point where you don't take that much damage is kind of annoying. But whatever happens, happens. Akira in general is not that bad. It's just that if you know what you're doing and do prioritize blue shield and stunning him a lot, he can't do that much damage. The only damage he can do is when he's used with the bowgun, or just use the bowgun legion in general. But that should be nearing the end of Akira's round. After that, we just got another round with Bertold, which is funny, but you get to hear some of my gripes with this. So, have fun with that. Oh, you mother! You motherfucking piece of shit. Yeah. I don't know why that my Beast Legion got auto-called back into my Legatus. Especially since I was just trying to avoid. But I'm surprised that it didn't instantly kill me and I had like a medicine to put me back into full HP. The last round with Jenna Asymptote and Ares is not that bad. Ares is only there to like cause damage to you. It's the stronger one. While Asymptote just makes it fall, rain, snow, sleet, or hail. So do be mindful of that. Your best bet for like priority wise in these two would be Asymptote herself because of the lasers she can create, the amount of elemental like attacks she can make as well within like freezing, burning, and shock. Like if you don't know what to do, you're probably gonna be stunned by her, and then getting hit with Ares would be a terrible, terrible like way to go. But generally, once you get rid of Asymptote and then focus all your attacks on Ares, Ares is not that bad of an enemy either. Try to stun both of them at the same time while they're doing attacks, and you'll be in a greater position to do damage. But yeah, no, prioritize Asymptote and then worry on Ares. When Ares does this like rain attack, that's your best bet to just avoid. But once you get to the point where both of them are doing ranged attacks and you cannot rely on your Beast Legion to not get you out of damage but avoid the damage, you're kind of screwed. I also wouldn't recommend fusing, because since that there's multiple enemies and only one of you, especially if you keep getting knocked out of doing the stun attack, you're gonna lose more HP than you gain. And once you like desummon or like defuse from being the fused legion, you're gonna be left in a position where you probably are just gonna get comboed to hell and back and just lose the round. So there's like no good way to get it. But with Asymptote down, now we just get to focus on Ares himself with no like interruptions in the way. So that's pretty much like, I think the final part of this case, but pretty fun in general. The only bad part about it is that since Ares loves to dodge, there are just sometimes where you hit him with a pot shot from your Legion, he'll dodge and then he'll be out of the way of like getting hit by Slow and Howl. And another good way in general to deal with this, in general like the group of enemies here, would be Slow Shot, because you can use that for your advantage. I wouldn't recommend, Gravity Storm, because it's gonna be more annoying to deal with the darker enemies because of they don't get affected by Gravity Storm. So don't rely on Gravity Storm. Hit Rush might be better. If you want to do Round Bullet just for some damage, that's also pretty good. But yeah, no, with Ares slowly defeated, that's pretty much all there is for this final boss case. With that down, we only got 2 cases to go, one final W, and then the final like thing for Olive's whole case ordeal. Very surprised I got it in 10-ish minutes. But that's neither here nor there. Got everything I can for this one. Only 2 more to go. And I'll state this right now. If you don't see another video for Astral Chain in general, like in the next coming weeks, again, it's probably because a combination of just can't record anything, either voiceovers or the video in general, because of work taking too much time because I have to study, or I've gotten to a point where even doing these, it just gets too long where I have like very few times to record in any sense. But that the W case is gonna be a long game of patience, a severely long game of patience. But that's for next time we show up here in Astral Chain, not for now. But with that, thank you all for joining me again. We are almost done with Astral Chain, just 2 more cases and then probably a 3rd episode, I don't know. But with that out of the way, thank you all for joining me. To the computer.